you assess the current Bangladesh's political situation after the changeover in August 5 last year?
Thank you. What we see for the last 6-7 months, this interim government is running the country. So far, we haven't seen any development except what we see every day, the crime rate is rising. Economy is completely deteriorated because no new investors are coming at the moment in Bangladesh. Because whenever we talk to the diplomats, the international community, they only talk about election. They want to hear the roadmap of the Bangladesh, election roadmap. And unless the election is declared, no new investors are coming, as well as the old investors, I mean the investors who are already in Bangladesh has invested huge amount of money, they are insecure. So what this government is doing, I'm sure it's this government is basically doesn't know what they're thinking about, which way they're moving. I don't see the focus on improving the economy. Few days back, you heard the Professor Yunus. He spoke to one of the BBC journalists, and I'm sure you heard one of his point was, he said that the crime rate is normal and is better than before. Honestly speaking, Masud bhai, that how you judge or how you will differentiate the crime rate, or you want to balance the crime rate of Bangladesh, how you want to see. If you see in this way, that how many general diaries or the cases are being recorded in the police station, that you have to see first. Because whenever we see, even I faced a lot of difficulties when I went to police stations to file few cases. I'm sure you heard about our Kakrail, our central Jatio Party office were burned, vandalized by the anti-discrimination students. So we also went there to file cases, but none of the cases has been taken as record. So if you look into in this way, then I'm sure you know the answer, whether the crime rate is unstable, or the crime rate is deteriorated, or crime rate is completely, the way Professor Yunus is explaining, I'm sure he is completely out of his mind. Basically, he is not in his the fact what is going on. I'm sure he is not following the Bangladesh law and order what is going on. He doesn't have any idea, doesn't have any clue, because if you talk about law and order, there is no law and order at all, because we cannot blame the police or we cannot blame the law, the government tools, because they are completely, because you see a lot of cases have been filed against a lot of police officers, they are also hiding, so you cannot blame them, because I don't think there's more than 20 or 30% people are inactive in the police roles. So that is the reason is law and order is completely deteriorated. There is nothing called law and order. Even if you look at in my area where I reside, you can see that we before the Sheikh Hasina regime, we had a beautiful police, community police we had in my area where I live. Now we don't see, because community police and the the DMP, we had a good ties with them. We had an agreement, mutual agreement with them, because whenever we face difficulties, our community police used to get help from them. Now what we see, that there is no police. So our community police has become completely helpless. So we have to install in every road, in every streets, gate, big gate. After 12 o'clock, we have to close those gates to protect our neighbors from theft, from all kind of illegal activities. So this is how you can say the present situation of the Bangladesh.
So how you just mentioned that your headquarters, Jatio Party headquarters, was burned down. How you are doing your activities in political activities? How you are doing now?
You see, after our Jatio Party office burned down, we see our office is still inactive. It's completely under operation. People are there, and regular activities is going on. But the question is regarding our political role. We haven't got any level playing field so far. Level playing field is been given only other two political parties, not Jatio Party. So that is the reason whatever meeting we are doing all are internal. Outside, open door, we cannot do any meeting or any kind of activities. This is what government is differentiating between the political parties. Professor Yunus is saying he has called a unity. He wants to give the level playing field to all the political parties, and it should be, and he is saying that election will be inclusive election. I don't know how he is talking about, because we are completely neglected. Even, I'm sure you know that very well, even they have instructed the medias to do censor or to not to give any coverage for any coverage of our political activities.
So do you expect, when you are expecting the national general election in Bangladesh, and do you expect the Professor Yunus-led government can conduct a free, fair and inclusive election, whether the Jatio Party is planning to participate in the election or not?
See, Jatio Party, of course, Jatio Party will participate if the election is free and fair, level playing field, and I mean, it should be inclusive, like all parties' participation. If there is no all party participation, we will not participate. That is for sure, because we don't trust the present local government administration. We have not at all any faith on them. So we have also requested to the United Nations and the other stakeholders of the international community. We told them we need United Nations as well as our Bangladesh Army's intervention. Without that intervention, election will not be free and fair.
So how you are looking the new party formed by the students that was conducted the movement in Sheikh Hasina? This new party was formed by the students. Is called the National Citizen Party (NCP). But how you look at this formation of this party and their role?
See, as a democratic country, everybody can form parties. That is not a big thing, or I will say it's not a negative thing. But the question is, what is their motto? What I have seen, their first stand was saying Inqilab Zindabad. So what does it mean, Inqilab Zindabad? In Bangla, we know Inqilab means, or in English, we know the Inqilab means revolution. But then why do they have to say Inqilab Zindabad? They could have said in a different form. So that means there is a big question mark for me. What is their motto? What they're up to? Thank you.
And my last question is, how do you look at the India-Bangladesh relation in the current circumstances? Because Bangladesh and India are the biggest neighbors, both neighborhood countries. So how do you look at these relations at this moment? And what is the
India-Bangladesh relations, we cannot, we have to remember one thing, that in India, Bangladesh, we are the neighboring countries. India needs us, we need India. We cannot ignore them, even if you want to. What the students are doing, I mean, the word should be corrected, not students, so-called students, I must say, that they are completely not into the reality. They are out of reality. Maybe somebody from somewhere is poisoning them and feeding them poisonous things against the neighbor countries. See, to keep our country stable, economy as well as security, we need India, and India needs them, needs us as well.
But the Nahid Islam, who is the leader of this new political party led by students, he said that they do not like the pro-Indian or pro-Pakistani parties. They actually want to make their party for Bangladesh's future. So it doesn't mean that it is against India or in any country.
See, this is a kind of game they played. I'm sure you have noticed which diplomats were there at the time of their forming that inauguration of the party. I'm sure you have seen only one or two countries was there. One is Pakistan, other one is called Vatican City, but that is not a country that is inside the Italy. Or you can say it's a separate, whatever is a separate, but they don't play any political role in it. So keeping Pakistan in front, and you're talking about inqilab Zindabad, so it is automatically understood what they're up to and what they really want to. So just to it's just an eye wash or a brainwash, you can say, saying that we don't want India-Pakistan's involvement. This kind of words, it is obvious, just to know the innocent people, probably they are thinking they're too clever. But I don't think they're too clever. People understands what they are up to and what is their target. They don't want this country a sovereign country.
Professor Yunus said that he wants a very good relation. If there is a cloud of the bilateral ties, it will be removed soon because they are taking efforts for removing the clouds between our two countries' ties.
See, Professor Yunus, he is basically, as a person, he's a nice man, a good person. But politically, he's not a political man. His background is microcredit, he's an NGO man. This is one thing. Second thing is, this government doesn't have any mandate. This government doesn't have any role to play with the neighboring countries to talk about treaty, to talk about peace, or any kind of agreements. Because they can only focus on, with the election commission, to declare the election date. With the help of election commission. Even they cannot openly say anything about election. Because they are here to serve the purposes for the election. Even High Court, the Appellate Division gave a rule with the help of instructed by our Honorable President. Appellate Division gave a rule that there should be some kind of order how to give the legality of this interim government till the time of election. So that is called a kind of rule they got. They cannot stay more than 90 days, so far I know, because this thing doesn't have any option or provision in the constitution of Bangladesh. So I don't think any international community will have or will give any kind of access or any kind of agreement with them, because whatever the agreement that will not, I don't think that agreement will be what you can say is going to be worthwhile or fruitful agreement, because without a political party nobody can do this kind of agreements, or nobody can have, or nobody can approach to other country to have any kind of agreement with them, bilateral treaty or any kind of issues with the international community or the neighbor countries.
So what your party, the Jatio Party, will play a role to further strengthen the bilateral relation between India and Bangladesh?
See, we are not in power. We are just observing what this interim government is doing. So we have to wait for the election. After the election, then only we can talk about, because we haven't decided whether we should go for the election or not, because since we haven't seen any unity at all. So after the roadmap is given or the declaration by the election commission, then only we will decide whether we should go for election, and after the election then only we will think to how to how to bring the economy into stable condition to promote our economy with the international community. So before that we cannot say anything what Jatio Party will do. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait, watch and see.
Thank you, sir.